I can think of no easy way to go about this, but I do not wish future games to make the same mistakes that Bioshock Infinite has made. The positive light on this game is quite perplexing, given that so many can easily agree on the flaws within the game. The agreement on the poor quality of the gameplay seems to be unanimous, though it is somehow quickly disqualified even though it composes the majority of the game. The visuals that are so proudly displayed are dated at best and crumble in side-by-side comparisons. The largest aspect to boast of is the story, that is full of inconsistency, plot holes, schizophrenic characters, and godlike powers. Despite these factors, Bioshock Infinite is still in such high regards for reasons I fail to comprehend. The gameplay managed to take massive leaps backwards in formula, function, and execution. The central combat of the game limits you to a two-weapon system that has long since been outdated. It further limits your gameplay decisions with limited ammo and innumerable enemies that will gladly run directly into the path of fire because they do not fear the damage. To assist your endeavors against the walking cement bricks, you are given a variety of vigors, with surprisingly limited uses, the majority of which still require you to use your gun to overcome the encounters. To make it worse, the upgrades for your guns and vigors share a currency that is also the penalty for death, meaning the more you fail at an encounter, the more difficult it becomes to beat future encounters. All of this combined makes the unskippable combat sequences a chore and less of a satisfying cathartic experience to celebrate the aesthetics. Combat aside, the other elements of the game still manage to find themselves full of flaws. The exploration is limited by both your means of getting around and by the minimal rewards you are able to find. In some cases, the limited lockpick resource can get you more combat than resources. The only means to getting around you are given are the sky rails, which are scarce and generally used as a tool to advance the plot. Potential is lost here as the character building elements of exploring and discovering clothes and other upgrades to your character can really help you customize your gameplay. The visuals of the Bioshock series have always done well to immerse the player in the gripping storyline as it unfolds. In Infinite, you start out being gripped by blooming skies and an impressive amount of clutter to complement the aesthetic. Early in the game, it gives depth to all the insignificant NPCs and makes the city feel full of new and exciting things. This quickly fades away as all of its inhabitants disappear when the combat music starts and the entirety of the city is characterized as racist, so you don't feel bad about mindlessly slaughtering your fellow man with your superpowers. Of course, there can be no oppression without resistance. Unfortunately, that potential is lost on the Vox Populi being as mysteriously omnipresent as the rest of the citizens in Columbia. The resistance does not exist at all until they show up out of nowhere to make sure the plot continues smoothly. Then you are given the illusion that you will be working towards overthrowing the racist government in a series of climactic clashes, which is betrayed by a dimension leap into an alternate reality where it has already happened. At this point, the game tries to make you feel that both sides are equally as evil, which is quite hard to swallow. One side will indiscriminately hate someone for the color of their skin, while the other simply wants that to stop. After jumping realities, the Resistance becomes a mass murder and psychopath party that wasn't characterized at all in the few instances you got to see them. Despite constantly changing the fabric of time and space, somehow you never simply jump to where all the racist evil is not present, and are forced to hop through the portions of realities that at best demonstrate how evil everyone is. Now to the big part, the story. You play as Booker DeWitt, a mysterious, shady character on a journey to kidnap a girl to pay his debt. That is a lie, however, as you are actually her father, rescuing her from the prison your future self created after you had already given her up to pay your debt. Time travel and alternate dimensions are the centerpiece of the plot in some sort of attempt to fool the player. Despite many unexplained occurrences, inconsistencies, and the few clues you get being hidden in places you can easily fail to discover, the game decides at the end to tell you everything you have, can, and will do does not matter. When you have the ability to travel between infinite alternate dimensions freely, all meaning is lost. The only constant becomes the ability to travel between the dimensions. However, many times you change something in one dimension or one timeline, there are infinite others where you didn't. Underneath the complication, the writer is telling you that you are a powerless little speck that doesn't matter. Personally, I like to believe that the choices I make can change things for the better. Going over it again, Booker DeWitt is the father of the Godchild, gives her up to some interdimensional time travelers, and then creates a utopian city of Columbia. After becoming the leader of racism across the sky, another version of him is taken from an alternate dimension in the past before he becomes King Racist. Now he is trying to keep himself from rescuing his daughter 18 years or so after the ransom was demanded. After failing in this when his younger self murders the majority of the floating city, as opposed to simply escaping, the full powers of his godchild daughter are restored and she proceeds to kill her father. This perplexing murder is done under the guise of preventing the events that compose the game from happening in a scenario where there are infinite realities where it happens regardless. The combination of these factors causes me great concern for the future of gaming. If these kinds of redundancies are celebrated, then many more will be repeated to mimic their success. I did not enjoy Bioshock Infinite, and if you did, please tell me in the comments below at which point in the game you found yourself having fun. If you found a flaw in any of the points made in this video, please objectively and calmly share your perspective. Thank you for watching. This has been Crimson, and my hat is off to you.